Hey guys, it's your girl, Crystal Nicole. So, right out the gate, let me go ahead and say that today I am having problems with this app. I cannot seem to upload a single document. I can't even put the black screen up here with my name or anything floating on by. The only thing I can seem to put is this one title, and that's about it. This is the only thing that's popping up. Now, I could have used anything else as the, screen for this, but I just chose this since this is the topic of today's video. So, unfortunately, this is what's going to be on the screen the entire time I'm talking because I cannot add anything else today like I normally would. So, unfortunately, you guys are going to have to be stuck with this title and my voice. Okay, so hopefully you guys just trust what I'm saying. I'm not really known to lie to y'all about anything that's in these documents. So I'm going to just give a quick breakdown of the reasons why the judge denied the dismissal that Milagro requested against Megan Thee Stallion's lawsuit against her. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first thing denied was the pre-suit notice. So Millie had said that they should dismiss the lawsuit because Megan failed to serve her a pre-suit notice before they served her the lawsuit. But the court concludes that Milagro does not qualify as a media defendant. Because Milagro herself has said that she's not a journalist and is just a blogger, her role as a media personality is not sufficient. So because Megan has alleged a campaign of harassment against her, they have to accept this as true. And because they accept this as true, Milagro's actions when speaking about Megan does not come off as impartial or neutral or like she's just repeating the news. Meaning, because she adds her own commentary to the news she is spreading, she is not an impartial, neutral, unbiased journalist, so therefore she does not qualify as one, and they did not have to serve her a pre-suit notice. 2. The defamation claims. The court cannot dismiss the defamation claims because, for one, accusing somebody of perjury is not just mere opinion, it is a statement of fact. They believe if anybody heard these words, they could have concluded that Milagro was saying that Megan committed perjury in the Tory trial as well as the Emilio Garcia lawsuit. So this is not just mere opinion, and it's for a jury to decide if this is considered defamation. So let's make this clear. Milagro was speaking about the Emilio lawsuit when asking about perjury in Megan. It was a posed question before she started speaking about the Emilio lawsuit. But because she said again that is Megan committing perjury again, she made it a possibility that Megan also committed perjury during Tory's trial when she testified. Now, as I've already stated, if I believe that Tory is telling the truth and not Megan, then that means I believe that Megan committed perjury on the stand when she claimed that he shot her. Now, of course, Megan is going to see this as defamation, but let's see how the jury feels after Megan has to answer specific questions regarding why Milagro feels that way during their trial. As Megan seems to believe that she can lie and change her story multiple times and still be believed without consequence, and that's simply not the case. Again, somebody should go ask Jay-Z and Alex Sparrow how they feel about lies and inconsistencies and whether or not they believe that makes a victim credible or not. The complaints by both of them regarding the alleged victim of Jay-Z seems to counteract this thinking, so... Milagro will need to do a good job explaining why her saying this is not defamation, since Megan, in fact, defamed herself. 3. The alcohol, nope, not 3, sorry, we're still in defamation. The alcohol and mental incapacity claims. The courts say that this can be considered just opinion, but they have recognized that calling someone an alcoholic or questioning their legal capacity can be considered, legal mental capacity can be considered defamation. So therefore, they cannot dismiss them. It simply means that we allow people to sue for things like this. Even if it is just opinion, she can sue. It doesn't mean she will win. Given her own words of loving the alcohol and using it to numb her pain, basically, they may be actionable, but it doesn't mean that any action will come from it unless Megan can prove she doesn't have a dependency on alcohol. And all I can say about that is good luck with that. Malice. So what they say about the malice part is that Megan merely stating that Milagro acted out of malice is enough to satisfy this claim. That's basically what I got from this, because she feels there was malice. There was malice. It's up to Megan to prove it in more detail during their trial. So I guess we'll see what happens there. The deep fake video. Because this is what the courts are saying, because Millie told people to go to her likes, that's enough to satisfy the promotion of the video. The biggest issue Megan is going to have here is explaining why she didn't go after the actual poster of the video. Because why is Millie the target as if she also posted and shared the video? There were multiple accounts who did just that, yet the person who didn't even repost it and just said, check out my likes, is the bad guy. She's going to have to make this make sense, because it makes zero sense that you're suing the one person who didn't even bother to repost it at all, but you didn't sue the people who actually posted it and shared it and whatever with it. Like, there's a big disconnect there. You need to add some other people to this lawsuit if we're going to make this deep fake video this big of a deal, because I'm just confused on how we skipped right over the person who actually posted it. We skipped past the person who actually created it, but we went for the person who didn't even post it. Doesn't make sense. Moving on. Now, the cyber stalking, Megan hasn't proved at all, and they're going to give her a chance to prove this. Now, what I find interesting is that on one hand, they're basically saying that Megan didn't satisfy this claim, and then in another breath, he's saying that she did satisfy the claim, but I guess she just didn't do it enough. So they're giving her a chance to actually satisfy it. So this is where I immediately I see a problem, okay? The fact that the judge isn't just outright dismissing the cyber stalking claim and is giving Megan another chance to satisfy it is just concerning within itself. So here's what I'm going to say. It is beyond obvious by now that certain players have been entered to make things go the way Megan wants them to go, as has been the case since July 12, 2020. They are determined to make her the forever victim, using us and Tory to do it. So I hope that Millie and her team are well prepared to fight this battle. Leave no stone unturned. Make Megan have to be accountable for her actions if they're insisting on trying to make Millie accountable for simply not believing her. So let's remember something. Megan is claiming that Tory is paying Millie to do these things, and she will have to prove that. Do not let them try and twist this into a situation that no longer includes him in this, as I can already see that they're trying to do. I'm pretty sure that they have to be aware by now that by dragging him in this, they are making Megan have to relive this situation all over again, which contradicts her claims of no longer wanting to relive this. There is going to be questions she will have to answer, and as much as she tried to add claims to keep her from having to do that, she will. Notice how these defamation claims are about things Megan thinks she doesn't have to really answer for, like the glass to bullet situation. Because a doctor testified about her having fragments, Megan believes that's the end of that discussion, and it's not. Thanks to her bringing that up, Millie can bring up Dr. Lafredo. She can bring up the police report about Dr. Lafredo and what he stated about glass. She can bring up Megan's own words about glass and even Kelsey's own testimony about being told glass at the hospital. I don't think they really thought this through. She can also bring up Megan going live telling us the doctor had pulled whole bullets out of one foot and only fragments out the other, and have her explain those contradictory statements. Or how about, sorry about the truck, guys, my window is open. Or how about the doctor who reported no nerve damage? The medical report that reports no nerve damage, and then play Megan claiming to still have nerve damage to this day. Megan has a habit of contradicting things the doctors and even the medical report states, while having the nerve to complain about there being facts available for Millie to not still be going with her own narratives. So, whose narrative should we go with, Megan? Yours? Because if we go with yours, you make the doctors out to be some liars and even yourself. So why are you concerned about which narrative Millie chooses to go with when even you couldn't stick to the facts provided by the doctors? I'm just curious. It's a little hypocritical. But this is what I mean about Megan defaming herself. Let's give another example. Megan, you went live and you told everybody that Tory had shot you from the back seat of the car. You even told the detective this 4 days after the shooting. Then you got to trial and you couldn't even remember where he was when he shot you anymore. You were confused on if you even saw him pull the gun or not. You were confused on where you had been walking when you got out the car. You had no idea where Kelsey was. Oh, and by the way, in case you hadn't realized this yet, you and Kelsey's stories didn't even match each other. And this was before she even took the stand. So exactly how do you expect anybody to report the correct narrative when even you didn't keep the same one you gave to us on live before you testified? What happened that caused you to change that story and give a new one? Is it because it didn't make sense? Is it because it was impossible for Tory to have shot you from over top of the car door while you were walking behind him? Did an arm shoot out of his back or something and start shooting you in the feet? Because that story didn't make no sense. So, maybe that explains why you went and changed that story in November. And then when you made it to trial, you just completely forgot altogether. But you're so concerned about people repeating the correct narrative when you didn't even keep it. Interesting. You did a documentary discussing how you used alcohol to numb the pain, but nobody is supposed to believe that you had a dependency on alcohol. Interesting. Why aren't you suing the friend who told Millie you had a guardian? I mean, since you're so upset and suicidal about these things, I mean, have you even bothered to address that friend? Are you suing that friend for telling Millie this since it was such false information? I'm just curious. We're allowed to ask questions, Megan. I also want to know how someone saying you have a guardian has caused you such emotional distress that has made you want to kill yourself. Because the only thing you really claim that you were tired of is seeing people saying free Tory everywhere. Not that anybody was dragging you consistently for being a drunk, retarded, or having a guardian. So these claims seem like merely fill-ins for what you're really upset about. And I don't really see this lawsuit going the way that you think it will. You might want to think long and hard about what you're about to subject yourself to, as I can promise you that this will do nothing to make people believe you more than they already don't. Some coping needs to happen at some point, but I digress. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, but I'll be back on the 18th when Megan attempts to explain her cyber stalking claim, since, you know, the judge is allowing her and giving her time to fix that complaint so that she can keep it in her lawsuit because he so desperately wants her to be in his court. But I digress. Now, with that being said, I want to thank all of those who tuned into this video. I want to send a special shout out to all of those who stayed around until the end of the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.